Wait, did you just say the target is a human? No, I heard you. What? Are you out of your mind? There's no way in this galaxy someone could be that catastrophically stupid. I was told the Blackhand assassins could kill anything. You watch your mouth. Don't say that name around here. What? Blackhand? Why? Did the name get soft? We dropped it after a botched contract with the Delpin Empire. It's dead. Leave it buried. I couldn't care less about empires. I want you to kill a human. The assassin's mandibles clicked, sharp with irritation. We don't take contracts on humans. Then I'll find someone who will. You can try. But no guild in the galaxy's gonna take that contract. And if you do find some freelance lunatic with a death wish, they'll either die trying or flip on you the second things go sideways. You don't actually believe humans are unkillable? Never said they were unkillable. Hell, I know firsthand they're mortal. But we still don't take contracts on them. Why the hell not? Because the only reliable way to kill a human and live long enough to spend the money is to nuke them from orbit with a neutron bomb, just to be sure, then grab the fastest ship in arm's reach and get the hell out before the rest of their species comes sniffing. You're joking. Tell me your planet. Does it have compulsory education? What's that got to do with anything? Humor me. Yeah, 10 years of state-mandated obedience training. Might as well be raised like Rasian drones. Sounds about standard for public schooling. Did they teach you any history? Some. Then they must have skipped galactic history. Sit tight. I'll tell you why no assassin with half a brain takes a contract on a human. The drinks arrived. The old assassin took a long pull from his before turning to his new drinking companion. Remember when I mentioned the Delpin Empire? Yeah, that one. What do you know about them? They collapsed, burned themselves out trying to conquer a death world. That death world is humanity's cradle, and no, the planet didn't break the Delpin. The humans did. Exactly. How? The assassin took another deep drink, gaze distant. The Delpin Empire once ruled half this galaxy, hundreds of species, civilizations bent or broken beneath them. It was serve or die, no exceptions. That was their way. The council that governed what little territory wasn't under Delpine control back then. They were useless, posturing, debating, pleading. It did nothing to slow the Delpine war machine. System by system, the galaxy fell to the Emperor's rule. Then, they stumbled on a system the locals called Sol. No other claim on the name, so the Delpine let it stand. Humans lived on the third planet, poor bastards. They'd only just begun to explore their own system when the Delpine came knocking. The humans were split into fractured socio-economic factions they called countries. That division made it easy, too easy. The Delpin legions swept in before most of the planet even realized what was happening. Communications were jammed, response was scattered, and entire nations vanished before they understood they were at war. Despite every disadvantage stacked against them, the humans resisted, fiercely. It took a full galactic standard month for the Delpin to claim control of the planet. 1 month. Most pre-FTL worlds fold in a week, but humans? They fought like demons, especially once the remaining nations finally figured out they were being invaded. They even managed to stop the Delpine ground forces cold, just once. But when reinforcements dropped, the last stronghold fell, and that was the end of organized resistance. After that, it was business as usual. Tedious occupation protocols, sorting the survivors into work camps, assigning labor quotas, rerouting the resources to feed the empire. Most of the surviving humans were farmers or herders, so the Delpin let them do what they were already good at. You know the phrase, an army marches on its stomach. The Delpin war engine had a big appetite. A few 100,000 were shipped off-world to work the mines. Turns out humans are absurdly strong and durable side effect of growing up on a high-gravity world. They thrived where others broke. Conquered worlds usually followed a predictable script, A year or two of harsh discipline, whips, fear, public executions, until the slaves accepted the new order. Then came a stretch of uneasy calm, followed inevitably by uprisings 5 to 10 years later, like clockwork. Normally, once the rebellions were crushed, that was it. The fight drained out. The survivors gave up, lost hope. But these humans? They didn't follow the script. They fell in line, sure, grudgingly, just a few months after the invasion. And when no uprisings came in the expected time frame, the Delpin probably thought they'd done it, broken them, beat the will to resist out of the apes. If I had to give humans one compliment, just one, it'd be this. They're natural-born hunters, patient, calculated. They wait, they watch. And when the moment comes, they strike. For 20 Earth years they toiled, worked, lived, bred like cling rats. Not that the Delpin cared. More meat for the grinder, they'd say. They even offered incentives, extra rations, privileges, if a human female bore more than 4 offspring. If only the Delpin had known, the humans weren't making workers, they were raising an army. The human administrators who surrendered to the Delpin, half of them were puppets, decoys, meant to sell the illusion of submission. Meanwhile, the real governments? They went underground, literally in some cases, and they kept giving orders. Hidden training camps, underground schools by night, secretly printed pamphlets teaching how to rise up, how to fight, how to endure. The humans were clever, damn clever, hiding it all right under their overlords' noses. And when the Delpin war front had stretched itself thin, dozens of systems away, still busy conquering the galaxy, that's when it happened. The hidden leaders, buried deep beneath cities and wastelands, had been preparing all along. Scientists reverse engineering scraps of stolen Delpin tech, smugglers hoarding weapons, farmers stockpiling supplies. Since the day they surrendered, they'd been planning for the day they'd rise. While the Delpin were gloating, the humans were getting ready, and when the time came, they struck. Small at first. They always start small. A miner refused to work. A rancher lied, said a fake disease wiped out his herd. A factory just exploded. Then it escalated. Production started to dip, then crash, and in the old human nation called France, never one to stay quiet under a boot, people poured in. Don't ask me what in the hells that means. I never learned human. Languages aside, a crate of plasma rifles went missing. Then a grav tank wouldn't start. When they popped the hood, they found the whole thing gutted. Power cells, anti-grav modules, gone. The Delpin leaders thought it was beneath them, just petty vandalism, but it still needed handling. So they called in the Blackhand assassins and other guilds like ours. Empire paid handsomely for our services, I'll tell you that. The humans' plane dirt, I think they call it, has triple the galactic average gravity. Every operative we sent had to be outfitted with grav assist suits. And even then, it took a week just to adjust after planetfall. At first, our agents thought the rebels were ghosts. Sabotage was everywhere, but no culprits, no trails, no witnesses, just damage. They'd patrol the streets, calm one moment, then suddenly nothing. Empty, silent. And before they could wonder where everyone went, boom! An explosion would rip through the street, sometimes taking our agents with it. One of our agents snapped after losing a friend, stormed into a random, totally unrelated town, and started executing humans who couldn't give him names. After the third killing, the locals turned on him, tore him apart. Can't even blame the Delpin for refusing the death fee on that one. We were contracted to stop riots, not start them. The whole job was going bad. Sure, we were killing humans with the clean precision we're famous for. But what's the point of a paycheck if you can't survive long enough to spend it off-world? Before long, we couldn't even walk the surface of their planet without a full Delpin escort. The humans struck from the shadows, then vanished like smoke.
On their continent, called Africa, one of our agents chased a rebel into the savannah, only to get mauled by a pack of wild feline predators. That's right, the humans had trained the local wildlife to fight us.
And the dogs, spirits below, the dogs. The number of agents we lost to their so-called companion species, we stopped counting.
And as for that nightmare land they call Australia, the less said, the better. I still have dreams about it, none of them good.
First, one regional administration center went silent, then another. By the time the Delpin nobles noticed, it was too late. Not just dirt, but every world where humans had been shipped to work was falling quiet.
One can only assume they'd been spreading rebellion to the other slave species. How they communicated across light years, only the gods know. But they did it.
And before you ask, yes, the Delpin did have patrol vessels in place, meandering throughout the region to catch this sort of thing. But those had gone dark too. The humans had slipped spies aboard, took the ships, or destroyed them. Either way, they vanished.
The captured vessels, shipped straight to human scientists for study, dismantled, reverse-engineered.
With Delpin eyes off their backs, the humans revealed what they'd been hiding all along: massive underground manufactories, stockpiling space dock components, massive engines, hulls, systems, launch facilities, flinging new ships into orbit by the thousands of tons per day.
So, when the first Delpin response ships finally arrived, they weren't met by miners and slaves. They were met by a fleet, crude, makeshift, but deadly enough, built from stolen Delpin tech and pure human spite.
And every time a fleet was lost, the Delpin did what arrogant empires always do: they sent another, and another.
They were too drunk on conquest to see the empire rotting out from the inside.
Eventually, the Delpin got tired of bleeding ships into the void. So they did what desperate empires do: they pulled a conquest fleet off the front lines. By then, the human world and the next 3 conquered systems in every direction had gone completely silent. When the conquest fleet arrived, 10 systems out from Sol, they didn't find chaos or scattered resistance. They found a united fleet, humans, and every other slave species in the region, standing together. And the humans won. After that, the Delpin Emperor must have started sweating. Most of his fleets were on the far side of the galaxy. Now the humans sat between him and his armies, so he sent the order: emergency recall. Every fleet back to the capital, immediately. And just to be safe, he called in the assassin guilds too. All of them, including us. But we refused. We'd already lost 2/3 of our numbers. We knew a suicide run when we saw one. And that choice? It saved our skins. The humans had spent decades perfecting their spycraft, sniffing out infiltrators, rooting out traitors. When the Empire came begging for help, 7 assassin guilds answered the call. Not one came back. The credits weren't worth it. No amount ever is, when your enemy has nothing left to lose. While the Delpin fleet circled in their home system, drawing up plans to scour their empire clean of rebellion, the humans were already 3 steps ahead. See, while the Delpin consolidated, the humans spread. Fast. With no fleets in their way, they slipped through the vacuum like wildfire. Every planet they touched, they toppled Delpin governors, tore down command centers, and sparked revolts. Everywhere they went, rebellion followed, and the galaxy began to burn. The so-called neutral council, tucked away in the unconquered fringe, rushed to side with the humans, anything to see the Delpin brought low. Trillions of the enslaved rose up, casting off chains and raising weapons. Whole planets revolted in unison. The Delpin grip shattered system by system. Forge worlds still forged, Agra worlds still harvested. But now they served a new banner: the Galactic Alliance. Not the Empire. Cut off from supply lines, the once mighty Delpin machine began to starve. Internal strife bubbled to the surface. Commanders mutinied. Orders went unheeded. And those conquest fleets that did launch, they didn't make it far. Maybe a dozen systems out before the human alliance struck. Same way they always had. Fast. Merciless. Gone before the enemy even knew what hit them. No matter how hard they tried, the Delpin fleets never managed to corner the humans in a proper fight. They were bled dry, slowly, methodically. Ambushes, fake distress calls, EMP mines hidden in debris fields. The humans played dirty and played to win. And when the Allied fleets finally breached Delpin Prime, they found a broken empire, starving, fractured, its once mighty fleet tearing itself apart from within. When the human admiral opened a channel and the Delpin captains saw the scale of the armada facing them, they didn't fight, they surrendered. 3 years, that's all it took. And with the war won, the humans unveiled their most terrifying weapon yet: lawyers. They pulled the Delpin emperor from his throne and dragged every noble, administrator, and whip-wielding overseer into court. The trials went on for years, not the mock courts of the old empire, where verdicts were bullets and trials lasted seconds. No, these were human courts. The accused had defense, evidence, proceedings, witnesses, justice. The emperor himself died of old age before the verdicts were handed down. His heir was forced to carry out the reparations. And so the Delpin Empire crumbled, its bones left to rot in the galactic south. A few systems remain dusty reminders of what was. Many feared the humans would replace them, that they'd seize the galaxy for themselves. But a year after victory, the humans dismantled half their fleet. The rest they scattered, used for pirate hunting and peacekeeping. We were lucky the humans knew we'd broken contract, that we refused to keep killing for the Empire. They let us live. On one condition: the Black Hand would be no more. They'd already carved us down to 1/3 of our strength before they left their homeworld. 1/3. We were the most feared assassin guild in the galaxy. Now, we're just scattered independents, hiding behind anonymity. So when I tell you this, listen. We don't kill humans. You kill a human, and their family will hunt you down. Kill their family, and the entire species will hunt you down. And you'd better pray they kill you, because if their lawyers get to you first, you'll be lucky if your own people aren't forced to execute you just to make things right. I had no idea. That, the assassin said flatly, is painfully obvious. He took a slow sip of his drink, the sound of his mandibles clicking against the rim. I'm not usually one to pry into a client's reasons, but what exactly did this human do to make you want them dead? They insulted my broodmate. The assassin barked out a sharp laugh. Ha! That's it? Then insult them back. Hell, punch them in the face if it really burns you. But you said we don't kill humans. We don't. But those crazy apes love a good fight, verbal or physical. Honestly, you'd probably survive the fists. You definitely won't survive the contract. And here's the thing. If you actually told them you were offended, they might just apologize. They would do that? They are monsters on the battlefield, demons when wronged. The assassin's voice was low but steady, like a sermon spoken over old scars. But they are not uncivilized. If they were, they'd never have rebuilt the council into what it is today. They hold the head chair now, and likely will for generations. They are a firm species, but fair in their adjudication. The assassin stared down into his glass. A final drop clung to the rim, before sliding down like the last word in a war journal. He drained it, set the vessel down, then, looking at the newcomer with a flicker of amusement, "Now then, my cup is empty. Unless you're buying the next round, I believe we're finished here." A pause. What if the target is a hue?